So what's up? How you doing today? We are going to take a look at Moma Dance by Phish, one of my favorite funky tunes that they've got going on. We're going to break it down to each section. I'm going to play along with a backing track I've got, and at the end I'm going to link to it so you can try out this stuff yourself. But let's give a listen to the intro section right now, and then I'm going to break down, show you what's going on. We'll do it part by part. Let's give it a listen. So this one kind of changes keys, moves around a bunch, starts off in an E minor 7, right? So I got some drive on there, got our wah going. So it's playing on an E minor chord, right? An E minor 7, just these three notes right here. Here's that flat 7. Gives it that extra tense, kind of more colorful sound. Right, does that for a while, and then they switch it up, or just Trey switches up to an E minor 9. So now it's like playing this E minor with this on top. And of course, by no means it means like you just play this chord the whole time. You can play around like kind of other notes. You know, experiment around, just use your ear, try out the notes around it, especially if you don't know, your notes and your chords, chord tones, all that stuff that well. You don't need to. It's not like it's an exact science. You just gotta or you gotta learn it from the books first. Like, just use your ears and just play around with it, and you'll find the notes that you think work or don't work, or work in different ways. You know, it depends on how you play it too. So that's the intro there, kicking into it. And then it goes to the spot where it's A flat 7, just hits to a down chromatically to a G7. So we're going A flat 7, G7. It's not even really playing the root. You can play it. Doesn't really matter though, whatever. And then we are going down one more fret to a G flat 7. So you're just going down like that. There's that a couple measures, and then he's got this little melody thing. Just simple outlining the chord. So here's a G7. So it's a root, 5th, flat 7, major 3rd, back to the root, the octave. So it just does that 5 times, and the 6 times going, and then right here, that G flat 7 going all the way down to a D7, and then one more boom. Now it's into the new groove, and just 3 measures of that, and then he's got this lick, bring it into to a C minor 7, that little bluesy thing. But let's give a listen to that kind of solo, sort of solo section, jam section. It's usually very reserved, but let's give a little listen to me just messing around with some ideas, and I'll show you what I was doing. So again, starting off with that blues lick going right here, or blues kind of rock thing, and then just kind of just sticking around the C minor pentatonic, right? And then if you want to throw in some blues notes there, and if you want to do the bigger scale, like the mode, C Dorian would be kind of the scale choice there. And you can just mess around with this spot or anywhere else, but this is a good place. Kind of works really well with that. But I think the approach here is to, again, keep it very kind of reserved, focusing on getting that groove, getting a little edge, a little attitude, but not like going crazy. That's saved more for later, the second time, kind of like more the second solo. But let's give a listen to verse, pre-chorus, chorus, kind of all once there, and then we'll see what's going on with that. So this is just sticking on that C minor 7. Getting, really funky with the wah. And then when it kicks into the pre-chorus, it starts going. And that's just going that C minor 7 to a C minor 6. Here's our minor 7, minor 6. And now some people might think of this as an F7. Mike usually is just kind of pedaling around that C note, but sometimes he'll hit that F just a little bit. And if you hit an F when this C minor 6 happens, or you can play it here, that would make an F7 chord. So it's kind of what in jazz they call 2/5. It's such a common thing. It's like the foundation of chords for jazz. It's 2/5s, or 2/5-1s is another way of getting further kind of resolves. And anyways, if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. But you could think of it that way. But I think I hear him much more often just kind of focusing on that pedal, focusing on that C, so it functions as a C minor 6. But either way, it's the same kind of thing. It depends on how you want to think of it. And then the chorus is the same thing, but now, and sometimes he focuses on the F a little more in the chorus, but it's more just kind of less funky and just kind of more drowning out in that thing with, shaking the wah there. But chords are the same thing, and that's it. Let's actually listen to the end part now, So quick and easy. You want to get that out of the way, and then we'll focus in on the big jam part. So this one, ending it, you're coming out of the jam. That's still coming on this C minor 7, and then we're just going to it. Now we're actually going to that F7. Going. It hits, down 1 fret to an E7, and then one more to. So it's kind of like come full circle, but this time it's an E flat 7 instead of an E minor 7 like at the beginning. And then it just does that for 3 bars, and then we're just going. Down to a B7 and just drowning out on that, and that's it. But now let's give a listen to me playing some examples of the kind of jam, the second solo section, and see what's going on afterwards. So this one is revolving around another kind of blues thing here. It's also C minor, right? So C blues, C, specifically C Dorian, C minor pentatonic. All these little scale options work. And we'll just stick to right here, this spot right here, where he's playing this. He's going. Some little things thrown in there. He basically does that, starts the solo off 4 times, and the third time, I didn't write this out, but just going up like going up a little higher. And that first measure also is not to be verbatim, so you kind of like it's more that second measure of like make sure you get that. But anyways, I was saying you go up, kind of like something like that, but kind of go up to the C right here, the 13th fret. The third time he'll often do that, kind of like just embellishing it a little bit. And I left that free to kind of like use your ear and try out your own ways. But overall, it's like repeating the idea 4 times with the third time, just going up a little more, little variation and then mix it up. And then when he goes to solo, it's, of course, it always depends on the version and it can vary so much with Phish stuff, but he's a lot of times just still kind of getting that phrase, that little lick there, that whole thing, is kind of the foundation, and he's still messing around with it, and even when he gets away from it, he's coming back to it. You know, even if it's higher up, getting little spots of it, you know. Right here, that's bending that the sixth scale degree, which makes it that Dorian sound, bending it up to the flat 7. So no matter where he is, he's still kind of coming back to it, and that's kind of the main approach of this jam. It's tethered to that. Again, it depends on the version, it depends on what you might want to do with it. But with that in mind, if you've got your guitar, you want to try this stuff out, I've got a backing track over here. So now it's all charted out in the track, so you can just follow along and try out your own ideas with the scale charts and the solo sections and have fun with it. And I'll see you in the next video.